This is video number 3 in our tutorial that we're doing. So we have we've done the throne, and now we're going to do all the gold jewelry and the silver jewelry. So I've done the side over here, and I'm going to work on the side with you. The colors that we're going to use are our 3 oranges. So this one is number 113, I think it's called Orange Glaze. This one is 110, it's cadmium orange, and dark cadmium orange 115, our favorite red violet, and also the cobalt turquoise we're going to be using. So the first step that we did with this was to add in all these bits of blue as our highlight color for the gold, to kind of contrast with the gold and the silver jewelry. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go with orange, and we're going to use the cadmium orange, and wherever we've got bits of yellow here, we're just going to shade into them so that we get a bit of tonal contrast between on the yellow, so that it just warms it up a bit. With this, you don't want to necessarily go everywhere where there's yellow, but you want to go some of the places. We're going to continuously be trying to kind of create a little bit of a, you know, tarnished and aged look. So you want to put some orange in just to brighten, and every now and again just blend it into these colors. So wherever you've got your yellow, you're going to go over and you're going to add in some color. Just some nice contrast, you know. Warms it up a little bit as well, which is really nice. With these, with the feathers, I like to do every alternative one. It gives contrast seems to be the word of the day. So there we go. And then on the opposite side, so that they are staggered. Every now and again I miss one, kind of on purpose or by mistake. So we're going to do that both sides. Putting in some color. With things that are gold, I find, you know, obviously there's a lot of different ways you can go about colouring gold. But what I like to do is I like to start with yellow and then use oranges and browns to build it up. Because we've used a different yellow over here, we've used the darker yellow, we're going to use a darker orange. We're going to go with the dark cadmium orange. It just gives the right amount of contrast against the brighter yellow base. And we're going to use this just now as well. It's like subtle little things, I think, that do make a difference. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Adding in alternatives. Just a bit of contrast color there. Right, okay. The next thing we're going to do is with our red violet pencil, very nice and sharp. All the areas in here where these spaces are, where there's a bit of dark shading, we're going to go and we're going to color with the red violet. Remember, we're trying to create a kind of golden tarnished aged look, and so the colors that we use to do that are colors that we want to help give off that gold kind of effect. So you can see as we start adding in this dark color into these spaces how it really starts to create depth, contrast, which is what we're always going for with the colouring. So adding these bits in here. And then when we went with our orange, this is our dark colour we're going to go over as well. So we're going to create a little bit more of shading, blending the colour in. Everywhere we've gone over with all the different oranges. The light one or the dark. Just pick up the earrings over here. Nice dark shadow line down that side. And also here. Edges as well. Starting to take some shape. It's looking good. Find, you know, sometimes you need to go in and add a bit of colour and brighten things up a bit. So I'm using this dark orange over the red violet. You can see it looks great. These colours work really nicely together. Adds in some nice contrast. It looks similar here. There we go. And this is one of those things that's a little bit of a faff and a fiddle. You know, you do a bit and then you need to have a look at it and go away and come back and see where you need to add some colour. But that gives you a general idea of what we're doing there. And here over the orange as well, I'm going with dark cadmium orange, just where we put some of the colour earlier. There we go. Looks okay. Alright, great stuff. Now we're going to do this. So we started off with a dark yellow base, and we're going to, first of all, with the dark cadmium orange along the edges, like I've done over here, we're going to add in just a layer of dark orange, and then we're going to work on top of it with red violet. Blending the colour in, just giving it, going from edge to edge. This orange adds like a really lovely glow, and especially when you go over it with, you know, with the red violet, it tones it down then, but it retains that lovely warm, rich colour underneath. Yeah. Okay, then with the red violet, in between here, where all the dark shadow is, we're going to go over there. You'll see that it just goes up to a bit there. Make sure you leave a bit of light. That's what we want as well, to create the contrast. And then with your nice sharp pencil into all these little tiny nooks and crannies here. Keeping it nice and tight. And bring in some shadow detail there. And so we have a lovely warm kind of golden glow that's happening over here. Just going to put a little bit of this red violet on the edge. And then I've also used the same red violet down here in the bottom to bring in this detail here down the sides as well. With the areas that where we put all this blue in here, with the cobalt turquoise, we want to go over all of it and just put in like a smidgen of colour that's just going to, you know, just create a lovely contrast. Doesn't, you know, it's not dark, it's not a lot of colour, it's just a tiny little bit, but the bit of shading really does make a difference, you know, where it goes from the light to the dark. So we want to just contrast that a bit. Put that in. Just tiny little bits of colour does make a difference. Okay, that's looking good. And then this piece over here, so this is more kind of a silvery than rather than gold. And we've put in our orange highlight to start off with. And then with a red violet to just, as we've been doing everywhere, just go and pick up, create a little bit of contrast here with the colour. And then with the cobalt turquoise into all these areas over here to get some nice dark and light on there. Starting to take shape. Yeah. With the red violet, going into all these dark spaces. See what amazing, even though these colors are quite dark next to each other, it's amazing what a difference it makes when you put it in. There we go. Okay, and then for this particular kind of gem over here, I thought about it long and hard, and as you can see, it's quite dark. There's a lot of dark shadow in it, and for me the only color that this could be the reflection of this is this same yellow. So with the cadmium lemon yellow, I'm going to color in this area here, and we're going to do the contrast with the dark indigo. And there's two layers here actually, I don't know if you can see with this. So I'm going to go in a bit with this dark into this first layer, colouring over it. So you pick up that one. And also along the edge here, you really want this line to be very defined and dark. And as I'm going along, I'm just picking up the shadow, and there's this bit of white which we just really try very hard to not to colour in. There we go, so that we've got that nice contrast there. I'm going to pop a tiny bit of this yellow in there, and then to contrast we're going to use the light phthalo green and just start picking up the colour over here, slightly, 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 as it contrasts from this very dark colour to the light. Just give it a nice little glow. And I'm going to use the cobalt turquoise to just pick up the shadow over here a bit. I really want the difference here with these colours. Gems are difficult, and I think everyone struggles with them. I also do. One has to just keep at it a bit, and the thing that really does make a difference is if you do it a little bit and then you kind of take the picture away to look at it, to see how it actually looks from a distance. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of orange in here as well, just to give it a contrast with the yellow. Okay, so this piece at the top, there we go, you can have a look at that. It's starting to take shape. We're getting some nice contrasts of colour here. This piece of jewellery it's kind of, so it's not in his head, so it must be in the throne here. We're going to, excuse me, start off with the dark orange. Just put some lovely glow into it. I want this to be quite gold. So I'm going to put a lot of orange, warm it up nicely. And then with the red violet, just shading over that. Such a lovely colour. Yeah. Going to use the same yellow to just put some highlight colour in here, and this silver green to just build up a bit. There we go, I'm happy with that, and I just wanted to touch up these little spaces over here so that we can kind of just finish this off. Always just that little touch of colour, you know, just in the edges makes a difference. There we go. Nice and dark at the edge here. Go over it a bit. Okay, so we've done all the jewelry bits and the gold. We've done this, and we can go and finish that off. And the next video we will do, we'll be doing the scarab and these gems over here. All right, hope you're having fun. Catch up later.